This is Jake Pazicki with an ACT Science data interpretation question. Now, this question is asking us to look at the trends in the forces in the data. As the mass of the weight increases, what happens to each of the forces on the ropes? And this is similar to one of the previous problems on this passage, but it's a little bit different because it's asking just about in general as general increases. So what we need to do is, as always with these sorts of questions, is go through each of the answer choices and see what makes sense. The first answer choice suggests that as the mass of the weight increases, the forces on ropes R1, R2, and R3 increase only. So as we look at this table, we should see that as the mass increases from 50 to 100 and then from 100 to 200, the force on each of these ropes should increase only. And we can see that that is true for trial 1 because the force on R1 goes from 564 to 1128 to 2256 newtons. So that is an increase only in R1. And it is also true for R2, going from 282 newtons to 564 newtons to 1128 newtons. So in trial 1, as the mass increases, so do the forces on both the ropes. Now we need to just make sure that that is the same for trial 2. And we see that in trial 2, for R2, the forces are actually the same as the mass is increased. So that is right, that R2, the forces increase also. Though the forces are less than they are in R1, the forces on R1 increase steadily as the mass increases. And we see that actually for R3, it increases also from 36 to 72 to 144 as we go from 50 to 100 to 200 kilograms. So this answer seems like it's correct. We have increasing forces on R1, R2, and R3 as the mass of the weight increases, which would actually directly counteract answer choice B because we see that they've increased, not decreased. And answer choice C is wrong because while this is right, R1 and R2 increase, R3 does not decrease, so that answer choice is wrong. And there's no obvious correlation between the mass of the weight and the forces on the ropes. This is incorrect because we have seen a direct correlation that as the mass is increased, so do the forces. This answer choice would be right if it was pretty sporadic and if there was data supporting both. For example, if R1 increased but then decreased, and if R2 decreased and then increased, or if there was some sporadic, if there weren't obvious trends, then this might be a right answer. But there are obvious trends. There is a direct increase, and so we know this answer choice is wrong, leaving us only with answer choice A.